Namaste, Jai Bharat. There are so many stories about deep state. There are so many stories, not really stories, they are actually reality, I should say, about the deep state interfering with the affairs of other nations, involving in their governance, manipulating the kind of governments that should come into power into their chosen small nations, big nations even. Because these people think they can control, they really wish to control, and they think they are very smart. Now these are the basic structure. They think they are very smart, they can control everyone. Well, the point is that such kind of controlling is impossible. And to some extent you can do it, to some time you can do it, but then on a continuous, permanent, regular basis, these things can't be really done. Laissez-faire is laissez-faire. Suddenly you find the US Secretary Mark Rubio visiting Bharat, and he goes to a place called Kolkata. There's still Kolkata, today is Kolkata. And he goes to whatever pretext, he visits the missionaries of charity, Mother Teresa's organization. During our younger days, when Mother Teresa was alive in Calcutta, we were young at that time, students, we used to ask this question: well, if she is so interested in charity, she goes to slums, etc., why at all she converts people into Christianity? Now, converting a person into Christianity from a Hindu background is actually atrocious, because you are just destroying his identity. You are changing his identity. The very name they change in most often. In certain cases they retain original Hindu name for other purposes, not out of love and affection towards original Hindu names, but for other purposes. Now, of late or after some time, right in the beginning they were just converting and then giving Christian names. That's European names, British names. And then later they found this, they retain the name so that this man can get disguised as Hindu. As many others function today with Hindu names actually are not Hindus. And they carry out the interest of somebody else who are non-Hindus. Be it missionaries, be it radical jihadis, whatever, they carry such names. Why did why he goes to meet missionaries of charity? In our younger days, I used to tell you, you want to do charity, why do you want to convert? So it's not really charity, it is something else. This thing is explicit, but no one addresses it explicitly. And he meets them. Then he goes to he stays with all kinds of stories and pretexts. And then suddenly you find two sisters from Mother Teresa's Order Missionaries of Charity. They go to meet the former Chief Minister of Bangladesh, Mamta. These things happen. You connect to these chains of events. They are not innocent as they appear to be. They are really not innocent. There are things behind it. You have seen how Bangladesh was manipulated, and a nitwit person with a Nobel Prize, this Nobel Prize is just given to them. Nobel Prize becomes an excuse, and Nobel Prize loses its sanctity. Not just one case, many cases. And he is planted there. Why he got Nobel Prize, everyone knows. What is the great contribution, that also people should, those who know, they know it. And then this man has, for 1.5 years, has destroyed Bangladesh. The young, so-called the new expression, Generation Z, they call it as Gen Z, and they are out there in the street, and then suddenly a caretaker government comes, the Prime Minister has to flee, and then the radicals and Jamaat-e-Islami, etc., were released from the jail, and utter complete chaos, and Bangladesh is taken back in time. several years, I can't count how many years, but several years Bangladesh is taken back in time. And the same thing somebody wanted to do it in Northeast. There are ambitions of some people. They wanted to make Northeast an evangelical state. No wonder. Evangelical areas, and they do all kinds of things towards that. Then West Bengal was very convenient to many people because of Mamta, and now things have changed. So West Bengal is not under their control. But nonetheless, these people will continue trying to destroy, devastate Bharat for all kinds of reasons. They fear Bharat. Suddenly they expect the growth of Bharat is challenging to them. If a person looks after his own business, there is no challenge in the world that way. But these people are very keen in manipulating into other people's matters, houses, and swindling them to their requirement, their things, and ultimately letting them down. I remember a famous African narrative. The Africans said that when the missionaries came to Africa, they had the book in their hand and we had our lands. After some time, we had the books in our hand and they had their lands. This is a very precise statement which expresses the attitude, operations, intentions, agenda of these missionaries. Missionaries are not innocent. They are not innocently spreading the good news, gospel, that Christ is born, the Redeemer is born. No, not really that. That's really pretext. These are all a part of geopolitics. Some nation wants to control some people, or some groups of nations wants to control some people. They use religion towards that. Precisely this is what the radical Islam also does. And the many characters fall victim to this. Marco Rubio's visit to be questioned intellectually. There are diplomatic relations with Bharat and US, all those things are fine. He may wish to go, he can go. But then such attitude, such visits should be taken with a pinch of salt, and we should understand once, and we understand. I'm sure that we have a wise kind of government at the center. They understand it and they know how to take care of things. All these things are clear, but it should also be brought into the knowledge of common people who are innocent victims of complicated things. We shall meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat. Jai Shri Ram.